Well, good afternoon folks, and welcome back to the channel. This is Lee on the VirtualAirlinePilot channel with another video for you. Today we're concentrating on World Update 7 Australia, which was released yesterday, 31st of January at 1600 Zulu, 4 PM UK time. And this video basically goes through the procedure as while we look at some of the scenery and some of the bits and pieces to be found here in the update. What you're seeing below is Sydney after the World Update 7 installed. So let's get to it. To update, firstly it's recommended that you either move or rename your community folder outside the simulator. I've called mine community.old. This is just to avoid any issues during installation. I'm fully aware that some people never do this and they never had any problems, and that's perfectly okay. It's just a precautionary measure, and it's entirely up to you if you decide to do that. So just to repeat, this method I'm going to talk about today is for people who bought their simulator from the Microsoft Store, not from the Xbox or Steam version. There may be differences in the procedure. So to begin with then, to start the installation, go to the Microsoft Store, select the apps, then select your library, and then in the top right corner click the updates, and you should get, there should be a download there for Flight Simulator of around 501 megabytes. Let that install, and after the simulator has been updated, that's the core version, and you should now be at version 1.22.2.0, which is the latest version of the simulator. Next thing to do is to load the simulator, and there'll be a mandatory update to be installed. You can choose when and when you want to do this. The update's around 1.88 gigabyte, and basically it updates and patches some of the features already in the simulator. You'll see various bits and pieces during the update, with patches being added here and there. So after that, the next thing to do will be to go to the Content Manager, and there you will see additions or updates to the previous world updates. Japan, the USA, United Kingdom, the Nordics, the previous updates. If you've installed, there will be slight updates to that, and you can go ahead and select them. I think there's about 6, and those will update those particular ones for you. And then lastly, if you go to Marketplace in Content Manager, again you will see World Update 7 Australia is available. It's usually under the free section, and the download and install for the World Update 7 Australia is 2.51 gigabytes. That's for those users like myself who've purchased Microsoft Flight Simulator from the Microsoft Store. So you can go ahead and install that update, and after that, to come out of the simulator, it's probably a good idea to reboot your PC and then run the simulator again to make sure everything's okay. After that, you can shut down the simulator, and if you look in your packages folder, subfolder under Flight Simulator, you'll see a community folder has been added that's empty. So if you wish, you can then delete that folder, and you can add your folder back if you've moved it out, or you can simply install your previous content file by file to see if there's any issues along the way, but it should all be okay. So the world update itself is 2.51 gigabytes, which actually isn't too bad. Much of the actual Bing data photogrammetry is installed on the Asobo servers, something like 3 terabytes I believe it is. So if you have photogrammetry and Bing data switched on, then you'll enjoy some of the best of what you're seeing below at the moment. I have to say I've had a brief look, as you can see, and taken a bit of film for you. It looks really nice. No doubt there will be updates to previous bits and pieces in Australia that have been done, and that will happen over time. I'm going to put a link to the release notes in the description below, so you can have a look at the full description of all of the airports that have been updated and all the places that have been enhanced and where the photogrammetry is, etc, etc. I think it's wonderful that they do this. It doesn't seem to have caused me any problems, to be honest. Update's gone really well, and I haven't seen any issues at all. As you can see, the scenery just looks really nice. This is BROOME, I think it is, and which is one of the places I've flown into a few times in the simulator. But Sydney, Ayers Rock, the Western Desert, and everything looks really nice. I should say at this point that I'm in the UK. I'm not an Australian native, so I don't profess to know these places completely in and out. So no doubt there will be people who are unhappy about certain things that are missing, but all I can say is, I mean, it's a new simulator. It looks so much better than what we've had before. This is Darwin, another place I flew into on the computer, certainly in P3D, and really enjoyed that. So as I say, just watch this towards the end, and very shortly you'll see I've posted a full list of the instructions of how to do this safely, and everything should be alright. And at the very end you'll get to have a look at the LONGREACH, which is one of the places they've enhanced. So hope you're going to enjoy this. Let me know in the comments if you got any thoughts, or if you're having any problems. No doubt people's computers are all different, and we see people having problems, and we see people having totally faultless installations. Can't profess to know the reasons why. We're all different. All I can say is I've been fairly lucky so far. One or two bits and pieces here and there it's happened along the way, but like many of us, I'm enjoying this simulator wonderfully. Can't wait for the PMDG 737 to come out, and I enjoy doing the reviews as well. I will try to find some places here in Australia to do some small reviews on, and in upcoming videos. Meanwhile, enjoy the scenery. Here we are at Adelaide, which is another place I've flown into in P3D some time ago. There was a payware scenery for it that was quite good. This is the default Adelaide after World Update 7, which looks really quite nice. No complaints at all. And obviously it'd be interesting to see many of these places at night time or in the dusk, to see just what they look like in the evening time. As you can see, the city of Adelaide in the distance, and the township below. As we move away from the airport, you see all the streets and houses. It's very, very nicely done. Like I said, I believe there's something like 3 terabytes of data on the Asobo servers that are providing a lot of this. It looks really beautiful. Can't wait to explore it. I feel a flight coming on. So then, a quick recap. Installing World Update 7 Microsoft Store. Move or rename your community folder. Update the core simulator by going to Microsoft Store, selecting apps, select updates, and download the update for Flight Simulator, which is about 501 meg. Next, run the sim and then prompted install the mandatory update, which is 1.88 gigs. Then go to Content Manager, select the 6 updates for the previously installed World Updates. And lastly, go to Marketplace, free World Update 7, and select the Australian update, which is 2.51 gigabytes. And then lastly, just reboot your PC and add the bits and pieces from your community folder if you've moved it out, just to make sure everything's looking good and tickety-boo. So that's to end with. This is LONGREACH. Guys, thank you very much for staying with me during this. I hope it's been useful for you. My name's Lee, this is the Virtual Airline Pilot channel. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and drop by my website when you get a minute. And thanks again, I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.